Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about the price of these graphics cards and a lot of these videos that have been coming out recently about, go buy a graphics card right now. I've seen a lot of bigger YouTubers suggest to go out and purchase one. The prices have come down. I mean, some of these products, the 3090, I've seen on some instances go down over double on certain products. The price swings are drastic both on the up direction and the down direction, so people are confused. They don't know what to do. What I will say though is that a lot of these bigger YouTubers, the entire time it was going on, they were still reviewing these units and talking about MSRP for most of the time and acting like a lot of these products were available when really they weren't. They had review units and they just totally glazed over the glaring, elephant in the room, which was these products weren't available for maybe, unless you had 3-4 times over MSRP. So these are the same people. So for listening to price signals from these people, I don't think it's probably the best thing you could probably do. But what I wanted to go over is sort of my outlook for it, and it's definitely different than most of these larger YouTubers. And I look at it from a more of a economic perspective and a more of a macro condition, what's going on with the graphics card in the tech industry, and then evaluating those factors, and then from there speculating where the graphics cards are heading, up or down in price. So the first force I really see pushing down the prices of graphics cards has to do with the cryptocurrency mining industry. Specifically, the one I'm using as a proxy to understand this is the Ethereum network hash rate specifically. So I'm not going to dig deep into, what crypto is or how it works, but essentially all you need to know is that this network hash rate is almost a stand-in proxy for amount of graphics cards and specialized mining equipment on the network. There's other nuances to it, but essentially it's a pretty good proxy to understand how many graphics cards are currently operating on the network. Not exact, and I think when you look at these charts for this, and I'm going to show you one here, even if we conservatively assume that 75% of it is GPUs and 25% of it is customized mining equipment, even if you use a 50% GPUs, 50% customized specialized mining equipment, you could still see how far off these charts are. We've only fell 15% below the all-time high in network hash rate, right? Even if you assume that we've gotten more efficient, 15% is so low. We haven't even broke the peak at all. It's so high. At the same time, you have energy prices rising rapidly. You have everything in UK, Europe, Germany, Russia, the natural gas, the oil, gasoline, the whole energy story is still unraveling. At any moment that could blow up. It's already really bad, right? Look at the US average prices for energy in the home. It's we've never seen rises like this. So the speculation here is that people are currently losing money mining on some of these GPUs. How long are they willing to go into the negative mining on these graphics cards before they say, I'm done, screw it, I'm turning this off and I'm going to sell my graphics cards? I feel like we haven't even begun to hit the point where people have just thrown up their arms and said, I'm done, I can't do it anymore. Another quick thing on this network hash rate, one of the biggest things that I seem to have forgotten to mention actually was that Ethereum is essentially moving away from GPU mining and specialized mining equipment mining to a different type of system called proof of stake. I'm not going to go into the specifics there, but essentially there's going to be a huge movement of resources off of the Ethereum network. They're going to move to other networks. Some people are going to turn their mining rigs off. Some people are going to sell their rigs. Some people are going to move to other networks. There's going to be a whole mess of things going on during that time. But it seems unlikely to me during such a time of uncertainty that people would start investing like crazy. If you look at any time in the past and there's uncertainty, people usually try to sell what they have and get out of it and move into something else. What they like is when they see things going up in a straight line and they can make a lot of money. But when things are uncertain, when it's not sure which way things are going to go, if, in 5 years, if you'll turn a profit, or if in 10 years, maybe it'll turn out to be good, or if you start mining on a smaller coin, if that's going to turn out or not, those types of things are really for a select few people, and that's why only a select few people really hit it big on these, smaller cryptocurrencies and smaller ventures, whether it be in cryptocurrency or any other type of business as well. So the next thing I really saw was, this is a small one, is just the new release cycle for GPUs upcoming. So they're possibly saying sometime in October for NVIDIA, and I forget the AMD release cycle for that. But essentially, there's a new cycle of GPUs coming out here. Interestingly enough, I think these projections for when they're going to release them, I think that this could actually play into it, and they could push the dates back because they're nervous about the sales being so weak because of the secondhand market being so robust and so huge that they don't want to put their new cards out into a market where secondhand prices on 3000 series GPUs are deeply below MSRP. So another thing I wanted to talk about was the current macroeconomy and sort of the Amazon retail sales and specifically the Target sales as well. So you look at these two companies, specifically Amazon, you see that they were losing money on their consumer direct, Amazon Prime type sales and, just general item sales through Amazon. And they were sort of offsetting that profit loss by their other portions of their business, such as AWS, their web services, and a few other portions of their business. And then you see people like Target where, they were seeing items on the shelves longer, inventory was a bit higher, and they were getting less profit on some of their luxury items. And it was more sort of the in-demand and must-have items that they were seeing sales on. So, you're sort of seeing this sort of shift in consumer spending. So I think that type of environment sort of bleeds into, if you extrapolate that, into people spending less money on luxury items, be it a graphics card for a computer, right? So I think if you sort of extrapolate what's sort of happening and you're sort of seeing in other companies, and we're just seeing the start of it right now. It's not like we've, completed a cycle here or we're deep into understanding this. It's like we've just entered the very beginnings of it. So if this is a trend that's going to extend, do you think this is a positive or a negative for GPUs, right? So just think about that for a second. And the last one I wanted to talk about, which was really, it gets back to the cryptocurrencies again and sort of the stuff that was going on. I mean, just think a year back, people were on Best Buy. They were trying to buy 20 graphics cards. They had bots buying graphics cards. There was an outcry that these companies had to do something to stop the scalpers. There was people making Twitch bots and YouTube bots in order to track which graphics cards were available or not. There was all kinds of charts going on. It was absolute insanity. Now it's the absolute opposite, where there's availability everywhere. You go to your Best Buy, everything's there. But think about this, though. So these people that went out there and they bought 20 graphics cards on their credit card, right? They were thinking, they're going to get rich. They're going to go to the moon with these profits. They're going to make all these graphics cards. But every month they're having to pay on these graphics cards. So what happens when your energy goes up, you're not making money on the graphics cards, and your monthly payment is higher than what you're making, which is a loss? Or even if you're not even making any money, if you're not making your monthly payment, it's not sustainable. So how long are people going to mine into the negative until they offload these graphics cards that they have? They put themselves into debt over, right? They've got to get rid of them because they can't afford them. So we haven't even begun to see some of these leveraged bets people have made using credit cards and other consumer debt products. But once they unload, I just think it could be a cascading effect where we just see things listed like crazy on the secondhand market, primarily used things on eBay, etc. I don't think we've even seen the tip of the iceberg yet. So to me, these calls that we've seen the bottom, go buy a graphics cards now, it's your last chance to get a good price now before it goes up again. Is it possible? Yes. But when I look at it from a macro level, I think there's more forces sort of pushing down than they are up. Now, is it possible that it goes up? Sure. But my base case is we've got a lot further to go down. And I'll keep you guys posted.